Join the Perspective Shifts podcast, where we will be diving deep into conversation with listeners all across the world. Our objective is to go from victim to empowerment together. Don't miss out and join the conversation as Lauren Parente and special guests discuss important topics where everything is a matter of perspective. Let's move from problems to solutions in this highly anticipated podcast series with your host, Lauren Parente. Please welcome today's very special guest, here with us today to share their journey through empowerment and transformation. Enjoy!
Hey everyone, it's Lauren. Welcome to this episode of our Perspective Shifts podcast. I hope you're all having an amazing day. I am so excited to be with you all today, and I can't wait to get started with today's guest, Donna Green. She is founder and chair from Stella's Place. Donna is here with us to talk about a huge topic affecting so many people today, which is mental health, and how her organization is taking the initiative to help. Hi, Donna.
Hi, Lauren.
Thanks for joining us on Perspective Shifts. We're so blessed to have you on. We've had the privilege of spending some time together and discussing mental health and the difference Stella's Place is making. And services being provided by your organization to help the community are incredible. We love the positive, peer engaging, community-based approach being provided by your organization.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Donna, and your organization?
Of course, I'd love to. So finally, mental health has become less stigmatized and lots of people are talking about it. Isn't it about time? I have a daughter and her name is Stella. And about a decade ago or so, she was struck with very severe mental health challenges, depression and anxiety. And we sought help here in the city of Toronto, but quickly discovered that the system is a very disparate system of services in one corner and services in the other corner of the city, and waitlist for psychiatry and no real peer support. And what do you do with a young adult who's very, very different than child and youth, which is one half of the existing system, and the other half of the existing system are adults. And so we have this category, the big gap in service, where the services for young adults, because young adults is a transitioning age. We've all been there, right? Where you kind of drop off from your parents and you're discovering yourself and you're with your friends and that's who you relate to. And so when we look for services, we found very little, and we certainly found the wait list. And so we made our way to the U.S. looking for something, and there were things in the U.S., but still they were private and expensive, and still kind of that top-down, doctor tells patient what's wrong, which drugs to take, and young adult engagement. And so we struggled along for many years, picking up some different coping skills along the way, and then Stella talking to some more and more of her friends about this, until after probably 5 or 6 years, we found ourselves through this terrible dark tunnel and back onto her feet. It seemed really clear to me, someone who has been involved in the community, a family that's been involved in the community, that we had to do so much better for our young adults struggling with mental health. I had one of those big aha moments where I thought, I'm going to take this on and speak with other parents and discover that I'm not the only mom. Stella is not the only young adult struggling away. And from that point forward, we put together the Parents Council, and things started rolling from there.
What made you make that transition from identifying this problem with your daughter to taking action on it and creating your organization?
If I may say, disgust and anger and frustration. And when I realized that our daughter had to struggle so hard to get the help she needed, and that quickly finding out with the research that we did to see what the numbers were like out there, clearly an epidemic out there, knowing that if I were to take something on like this, it would help thousands of other young people, not as privileged as I am.
You're helping so many people. It's incredible. Can you share a little bit about programs that are being offered to young adults?
We asked young people what it is that they wanted, what it is that was not working for the system. And we partnered with young people that were relevant to them at this stage of life and looked at the evidence-based programs. So we didn't just make up programs, we had evidence-based programs, and we worked with young people to design programs that were relevant to them. We stripped out all of the traditional means of environment. For example, the entrance to our building, it's a cafe setting. And there's great music playing, and there's food to eat, and there's free Wi-Fi, and there's 2 young peer support workers, young people as they come in. There are no harsh lights. There are no white coats. There are no nurses and doctors. This is what we need to do, sit in the hallway and wait for an hour, if you're lucky to see someone for 45 minutes for that kind of quick assessment. The participants who take part in our programs are self-motivating. They are not there because they have been told to come and seek services. They're driving their own programs. And it's so much more relevant and so much more motivating for young people to say, actually, I don't want to take meds. And so they're telling us. And we've designed the programs based on their wants and needs. And so the program is quite a wide breadth, a very holistic approach to mental health wellness. We have the traditional group therapy, one-on-one counseling, but we've also mixed in yoga, art studio, fitness, spoken word sessions. It's really a kind of a different deal. Young people are they have a young adult council, and they're part of the voice of Stella's Place along with the board of directors. Young people pick what they feel is right for them. And all of this information is on the website at stellasplace.ca, and young people can search for the programs offered and sign up.
When your daughter was first diagnosed, how long was the wait list to treat her?
Sometimes they were 8 months or a year or 18 months. I mean, anybody who struggled from really severe depression, anxiety, you can barely make it through a day. It's pretty intensive stuff. And so we cheated our way, to be honest, into those lineups because we knew people and we had the very quick assessment and we got a selection of drugs to choose from, and those drugs would be managed by our GP. And that was the system. We have a beanbag chat. We've developed, for example, an online service where if you're really having just a hard time, you need to talk to somebody right away, you can jump on the beanbag chat. It's an app that you can download and speak to a peer support just to get you through that tough moment. Maybe it's a soft entry into some of the other services that eventually bring you down to our center on Camden in Toronto, but lots of people are on their phones. That's the way it is for a lot of folks who are a little anxious about a face-to-face meeting or leaving their home, and so they can also get online.
That's amazing. Nothing like feeling comfortable, feeling at home in a part of the community that's there to really support. The reality is it's difficult now. Stress, high expectations, everyone's on the go, and it's becoming more and more common. Yes. Right? People need help. Upcoming events, Donna, that are going on in the community that people can take part in?
Yes, actually, I'm glad you asked. We have an annual run sponsored by Bang & Olufsen, and it's a 5K run that happens September 8th, I believe. It's a Sunday morning. It's really nice to just go, and you can walk or you can run. It's a short run downtown that's around Bay and Bloor. Come with your friends or your family, and anything you raise goes directly to Stella's Place.
How would you describe your culture?
What really stands out for me is that our young adults have equal voice to any of our professionals, and it makes it a very different feel that your voice as a young adult is being heard and taken seriously. That is enormous, and we've built so much of our new model around that, including peer support training. Peer supports are a major part of what we do because young people are in a transitioning age, and that is who they want to speak with.
So powerful.
Yeah.
What are the long-term goals of the organization, your long-term vision, Donna?
Seeing young people get back on track, going back to school, finding work again because they're getting the help they need at a much lower cost than, say, going to the emergency department. They're actually getting what they need at Stella's Place. And so the long term is to scale across the country. If you could see the emails that come in coast to coast to coast saying, when are you coming here? How can every college and university that we have encountered said, we want your services at the college, university levels, because that's where a lot of the crisis is happening. And so we're looking to build Stella's Place Enterprise, if you will, where we can offer these services, colleges, universities, community organizations, hospitals, and we're already in partnership with a number of these institutes. If we can make some money selling some of these services, then it helps to support the services we deliver here at the flagship in Toronto. And also we're hoping that the government will realize the economic argument that when young people actually get what they need at much fewer dollars than landing in emergency departments where it's 10 times as expensive and actually not really getting much of what they need, we're hoping that the government comes on board to support some of the programs. Right now we deliver all of our programs free of charge because of so many generous donors and government who have supported us. And if I had to do the call out, I'd say, this is what you're supporting, young adult mental health, and we're becoming this kind of the go-to experts.
That's right. You mentioned scaling up, Donna. Where do you guys currently exist? Is it an Ontario-based organization? Yeah. How far is your reach?
Our main programs are offered here in Toronto. The Beanbag Chat app is a little wider reach, but mostly GTA. We are currently looking at reaching further out into Ontario and ultimately, hopefully, the country.
Would you mind sharing a story with us, Donna? I know that you probably hundreds, but is there one that really, made a difference for you, really hit home?
First of all, listening to young people who have come from such hopeless, dark places and having them speak as our ambassadors saying, if it wasn't for Stella's Place, I would not be here today. So that's pretty powerful stuff. The times that I go down to our center for various meetings, I can remember one time where there was a mom who was there with her young daughter, as somebody introduced her to me saying, oh, this is Donna, and she's the founder of Stella's Place and all that stuff. And this woman put her arms around me and held me in a hug and said, you saved my daughter's life. The suicide rate out there is significant. And when we can offer families, young people, the tools they need to manage these intense feelings, then oftentimes you're really turning lives around.
Would you say the greatest need with the people you're helping is just coping skills, knowledge? What is the greatest need?
I would say that it's the toolbox of skills needed to manage their mental health. And so we tend not to label what a person presents with because that's not the approach we want. It's not a kind of a medical hard approach. Oh, this person has OCD, or a person comes in and says, these are the things I experience. There's an intake process, and we offer the toolkit to manage whatever those experiences are for every individual. And they choose what they feel is most empowering to them.
And none of this is medical. It's all about equipping. It's all tools and resources.
Yes, we do have a psychiatrist who works with us, and often if you need to see a psychiatrist for medications, we can offer a session with our psychiatrist, and then sometimes you need meds to get to a certain place, and then hopefully try to start implementing some of these other techniques. So that is medical, but CBT and DBT, these are different kind of dialectical behavior therapies, cognitive, offered, especially the DBT, one-on-one counseling. I'm not quite sure where you draw the line between what's medical and what's therapy, what's just mental health therapy. So these are the kind of things we offer.
So you have the community necessary on every level, essentially, to help with mental health.
Yeah, and we have many partners in the community so that if things become extremely intense and a person needs emergency care, then we have partners that we can call on for support. And whether that's family support, whether that's individual support, whether it's fitness support, whether it's medications support, we've put together a whole host of partners that we work with as well.
Somebody wants to help, raise awareness or provide volunteer support or send funds. How can the community help?
Spreading the word and helping with the awareness. And if your political friends, your MPP or your MP in your neighborhood, tell them about us, that it's making a difference, that we need more of it, that we need the government support. And donating to Stella's Place by going to donate at stellasplace.ca is helpful. And just partaking in any of our third-party events like the Run coming up in September. So all those things are all helpful. The other thing too is we do have a lot of third-party events, everything from a cookie bake-a-thon to a run, whatever you're involved in, and donate the funds to us. And we have quite a reach into third-party events. It's wonderful.
How do we start our own third-party event with you, Donna? If we have a creative idea, let's say.
Call the phone number, which is 416-461-2345. You can always speak to some of our staff, Andre or Dagmar, our 2 staff members who manage third-party events. Or if you go to the website and look at volunteering, that's also a way to get involved. And it doesn't matter if it's $25 or if it's $25,000. Every dollar helps.
Is there an events calendar that you have online?
It's just a program calendar, but the event that I know coming up immediately is the run. So right now it's the Bang & Olufsen Yorkville 5K.
That's awesome. Well, we'll have to do a run with you guys as well. I just
Sure.
love everything that you're doing. You are such an inspiration, Donna. We all know somebody who is suffering.
Yes.
And nothing is more empowering than taking that and moving that into creating positive change, be it for ourselves, be it for our community.
Yeah.
God bless you. And everyone that works for your organization for devoting their lives to making a difference.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's really incredible. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with us today, Donna?
No, I think just a quick shout out to the team at Stella's Place. Jenny Carver is our executive director, and she was instrumental in creating this new model, co-creating programs, and putting the team together. And the people who are attracted to us are so highly motivated because they're basically so fed up with the failed system in many ways that currently exists. And they really are happy to roll up their sleeves and become part of something very, very innovative and very, very exciting.
You guys are change makers. I love it, Donna. I love it. And that's such an empowering message in itself. When there doesn't seem to be any other option, when there doesn't seem to be help or answers, that exists within us, quite possibly, to be able to create these opportunities and these answers. So to hand it to you, I'm very inspired by all that you've done.
Thank you.
Thanks again for taking the time to share with us today. We're thrilled, to partner with you and Stella's Place in raising awareness and providing support for such a worthy cause.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you and the organization for dedicating your lives to helping others, to taking action, to bring the community together and making such an incredible difference.
Thank you so much, Lauren. And we thank you and your group that you found us and you thought that one really is important and we're going to support it. So I thank you and your team as well.
Thank you, Donna. So once again, everyone, if you'd like to learn more about Stella's Place, please visit www.stellasplace.ca or call them direct at 416-461-2345. Be sure to keep them top of mind if you or someone you know is struggling with mental health. Take a moment to share this podcast with the community, colleagues, friends, and family to get the word out there that we're not alone and we're in this together. Thanks, everyone. Much love and light.